the kind of the modernization that is happening right now,
Yeah.
there is so much of opportunity, so much of opportunity to do that.
Once we get the expertise and get the sort of
Absolutely,
confidence, it's
absolutely. So there is no dearth of talent. There is no dearth of money in India. Seriously. However, it's just the skepticism and the fact that we don't believe in trainings and development.
true proper guidance and this mentorship is the key actually.
Yeah. No, corporate employees come thinking that training is a paid holiday, literally. Many of them. For them, it is the monkey off my back today. My boss is not there. So I can
Yeah.
be the way I want to be, eat, enjoy, play some activities, do something. There's no sense of, gratitude that the organization has sent them to learn something.
To learn
There is
something.
no sense of inner, this thing that I want to learn something new today. That,
That would
unfortunately,
basically help them for the coming years.
exactly, exactly. So, Chalo, no problem. I'll now keep quiet, and it's almost 59.
Yeah, yeah. Now students will actually participants will join soon.
Sure, sure. So you let me know whenever
Sure,
you
sure,
let me know. I
sure.
leave it to you all to
Yeah.
monitor it.
Most probably, sir, will resume in 5 minutes.
No
We'll
problem.
ask restaurants to.
No problem. No problem at all. No problem.
Hello, sir. Sorry for the delay, sir.
No problem, ma'am.
One minute.
Shall we start? It's almost
Morning, sir.
5.
No, sir. Like it is only 19 people. Still, we are waiting for the people to join.
Okay.
Is it fine for you, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. There's no
Yeah.
problem.
Shall we start the session?
Yes, sir.
I'm
Let the
okay,
participants join. No
Whenever
issues.
you are ready, I'm okay to
Yeah.
start. Whenever you are
We are
ready.
ready. Meantime, other participants will join the session, sir. So a very good evening to all of you. At the onset, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome Professor P.M. Padole, Director and Chief Partner, Institute Innovation Council, NIT-Andhra Pradesh, Dr. Dinesh P. Shanker Reddy, Registrar in Charge, NIT-Andhra Pradesh, Professor G.R.K. Sastry, Patron, IIC, our guest speaker of the session, Shri Shanker Viswanath, Fellow Chartered Accountant, Dr. Sudarsana Deepa, President IIC, Dr. P. Shankar, Vice President IIC, my fellow members of IIC, faculty members, and dear participants. I welcome you all for this session on entrepreneurship, skill, attitude, and behavioral development. We are highly grateful to our guest speaker, Sri Shanker Viswanath, for kindly accepting our request and agreeing to deliver a talk in this very forum. As a part of IIC activities, we are organizing this session, and I'm pretty sure here that the participant will take a great interest to get insights from our expert who has a vast experience and ocean of knowledge in the subject matter. Sir, we eagerly look forward to your talk. With this note, I request Dr. Premlata to give an overview of IIC and introduction of our guest speaker. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharad, sir. Very warm good evening to one and all present over here. Good evening to our guest speaker of today, Shankar, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Sharad, sir. Now, before I'll give the overview, before introducing our speaker, let me give the overview of our institute. National Institute of Technology, Andhra Pradesh is the 31st institution among the chain of NITs by the Government of India. NIT Andhra Pradesh is established in the state of Andhra Pradesh recently in the academic year 2015-16. Currently, the institute offers BTech and MTech, PhD and MS programs. BTech for 8 branches. I'll read out the names of the branches. Biotechnology, chemical, civil engineering, computer science engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, electronics and communication engineering, mechanical engineering, metallurgy and materials engineering. MTech programs are also offered in these particular branches or specializations, and we have even PhD and MS programs too. This particular campus, which is an enthralling campus of 172.6 acres of land adjacent to Chennai Kolkata Highway in the A strip lands of Tadapalligudam. So all the construction activities were being done by CPWD. And coming to Institute Innovation Council was started in the year 2018. From then onwards, our institute was organizing various events under the IIC events heads. So till date, we have organized many of the events. Maximum of the events are like to outreach the innovative ideas for the students, making them to realize the essence of innovation and how these people are going to cater to the society or community by large with their establishments, and also contributing to some of the firms down the line once they complete their graduation program. And as of now, we are having two internal startups which are being started for us by our students. And till date, from our respective alumni who have completed their graduation from this course, we have at least 2 to 3 startups by the students which have been seeded in our college. Means the ideas have been seeded with the proper guideship and mentorship of the respective faculties. This is a simple overview of our NIT campus and IIC Cell 2. Now I'm going to give the overview or presentation of our today's speaker. Shanker Viswanath sir is a fellow chartered accountant with approximately 29 years of rich local and international experience with various multinational companies in the areas of finance. To his achievements, sir worked as a director in one of the top 5 consulting companies and has trained more than 18,000 participants in the last 8 years. And sir has an enormous experience of 8 years in learning and development sector. And sir is the one who inculcates a lot of experiential learning for the audience. And sir is the one who can train the people with experiential learning. And one of the finest things we can observe from sir's profile is like sir works a lot with respect to transactional analysis and also in building the people with interpersonal skills. Since I'm a regular follower of seeing his LinkedIn page and following sir, I can see like though sir has enormous experience and with good age and all, still sir seems to be like a very youngster who always participates or encourages students and gives or delivers lectures and trains them very properly in a very a lively way or engaging way. I feel even the today's speaker whom we have right now before us might have planned something very interestingly for our audience. Sir, over to you, sir. We are eagerly waiting for your session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for calling me old. I'm very young now.
With your experience only, I told, sir. Rich experience.
I am only 57 now.
Yeah,
and,
good, sir. But based
young
on
at
your
heart. Yes.
activities and all.
Yes, young at heart. That's right. So let me begin by thanking all of you, Professor P.M. Padole sir, Dr. Sharad Dwivedi ji, then Dr. Ravi Kiran Shastri ji, and all of you here who've taken the time out from your busy schedules to come and attend this little capsule that I've put together when Premlata ma'am, got in touch with me and told me that you have to address a group of students. Well, I'm a student, so I really don't know what am I going to address you with today. However, I can guarantee you that you'll take away something which you will find useful for the rest of your life. No doubt about that. With that, let me begin with a little story. And I will really appreciate if you could interact. Ma'am, one thing I wanted to confirm, is it really a hard stop, or, if we go on till about 7-ish, is that fine? 7, 7:05, 7:10. We started a little late.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So I begin with a little story. This is a story of a lady who keeps complaining all the while. And ma'am, you want to record this for any reason? If you want, you may please go ahead and record it. I have no issues.
I think already it is
streaming,
recorded, right, sir?
Yeah, it is streaming actually on YouTube.
It is streaming, sir.
Okay, fine. So this girl used to complain a lot, and like every other day, today also she is complaining that she has a flat tire or something or the other. She keeps complaining about. Her father is a cook, and so when she goes and complains to him in the morning, he says, "Come, I am getting late to cook. Let us go to the kitchen and let's start cooking there. And I will listen to your sob stories." She says, "These are not sob stories. These are real problems that chase me." He says, come, don't get perturbed. Come, you'll get a solution to all of that. And then they go to the kitchen and he puts 3 pots of water on the gas. In one pot, he puts potatoes. In the next pot, he puts eggs. And in the third pot, he puts coffee. starts making coffee in that. And the girl goes, "Come on, Dad, now you started to cook. What is this? I came here to discuss my problems." And he says, "Patience, dear. You'll get your answers." After about 20 minutes, he takes the egg out of the water, breaks the outer shell, and keeps it on a plate on a table. He takes the potatoes, peels them, keeps them on a plate, and leaves them on the table. He takes the coffee and shakes it nicely, pours a cup, and leaves it on the table, and tells the daughter, "Now go and taste them, touch them, feel them, and let me know how they feel, how they taste, and what did you learn." So when she goes and touches the potatoes, they crumble. When she touches the eggs, they're a little hard. And she takes a cup of coffee, a sip of it, and says, "Wow, you make the best coffee in the world. But Dad, I didn't learn anything. मैंने कुछ नहीं सीखा." Now that's the question that I want to ask all of you here. And I would appreciate if you could interact and give your takeaway from that little story. What did you learn from that story? Anybody here would really appreciate it. If you could unmute your videos also when you speak, that'll be even more wonderful. Anybody?
Because the audience, please unmute and answer or interact with our speaker, please.
Anybody. Don't worry about whether it is right, wrong. There is nothing called right, wrong. Everything is a learning. And there's a saying that how you do anything is how you do everything. If you are all aspiring to be entrepreneurs, the first thing you need to do is to learn to speak up and express your views, isn't it? How will you sell otherwise? So anybody, please go ahead.
So can I?
Yeah, go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Sir, if at all we speak about potatoes, the potatoes were in raw format. They are been not converted or they are not been boiled. The use of potatoes were not been realized.
Correct.
Right? And the egg, which we know, like if at all we take it and hold it, it will break. If at all we'll boil it, we can consume it.
Okay.
So it all depends on our perception, our need and necessity, and how we can convert it into a proper output.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Any other views? One more view and maybe. Yes, go ahead, Abhiram. Whoever. I can see some names on the screen. So go ahead. Please share your views. Such a beautiful story. Okay, let me ask some pinpointed questions then. What does the boiling water represent? And what do each of the three elements that went into it represent? Anybody? The boiling water is the situations that we face in life, isn't it? All the three, the potatoes, the eggs, and the coffee, went into the same situation, the boiling water. The potatoes went in hard, but they got softened up when they boiled in water. The eggs went in soft. They are in liquid form. We all know that when they are raw. But they came out a little hard. So one experience can really harden you up in life sometimes. And you tend to think that life is, very harsh on me. And potatoes represent those people who look tough from the outside, but when faced with a tough situation, they just crumble. Coffee also went in. It blended itself and created a beautiful aroma along with the taste that it gets out. What a beautiful lesson is this. Entrepreneurship is like that. Some of you may have that experience. One experience can toughen you up, can soften you up so much that you'll say, "I'm not cut out for entrepreneurship." Is it making sense? Everybody, is it making sense what you heard just now? Yes, no, say something. Am I talking to walls? Imagine if you did this session and there is no response absolutely from the other side. How would you feel? Yes, no? All right, no worries.
It makes sense, sir.
Huh? It makes
It makes
sense, right?
sense.
Yeah,
Immense.
because entrepreneurship is like that. When you go in there, a lot of things may not happen as you want it to be. You have to blend yourself and come out making a new aroma for yourself. Situations are not in your control, but what's in your control is how you respond to those situations. And as an entrepreneur, it is very, very important to learn those skills, attitude, and behavior and develop them. It is known as development. Development takes time. Even a child takes 9 months to come out of the mother's womb, isn't it? It develops into a child and then comes out. It takes time. So it's good to know that you are all wanting to pursue your entrepreneurship, but it is certainly not going to be a rosy journey for sure. And keeping that in mind is what I have designed, something which hopefully will help you. And let me share that with you. Let me begin the session. Is my screen visible, everybody? Am I
Yes, sir.
able to write? Yes, I'm able to write.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so it is known as entrepreneurship skill development. And the first things first, let me thank you, which I've already done. And one and all, welcome to you. And hopefully, by the end of this session, you will take away at least one learning that you'll never ever forget for the rest of your life. And I guarantee you that, as I said. In this workshop, what am I going to cover? The 9 foundational business principles, and I will relate this to the attitude and behavior. So, 3 things I've been told to cover: behavior, attitude, and skills. So, those 3 are the ones around which my talk will hover around. The skills that you need to develop to be an entrepreneur. Uh, what is market dominating position and how do you work on it? It's an interesting thing. What is the concept of niche or niche, as they call, and how do you identify your own niche and certain basic knowledge aspiring entrepreneurs must have? This is what the talk is all about. The next 1 hour, 45 minutes, or 1.5 hours, whatever it takes. Anything specific you want me to speak about, now is your chance to say. Anything specific. I've put on screen what I'm going to talk about. Anything specific that you want. And when I'm in this mode, I'm sorry to say I can't see any of you. So unless you unmute and speak, I will not even be able to know whether you are attempting to speak or not. If you want, Premlata ma'am can be your representative, that's fine. But I would appreciate if more of you unmute and speak. Anything specific you want me to address? I think in 2 hours, nobody in this world, I don't have a magic wand with me that I just wave it and you all will become great entrepreneurs. But if you understand this to begin with, it will leave you curious enough to start your journey of entrepreneurship. Anything specific? Otherwise, I'm moving ahead. Sure, nothing specific seems to be coming. So by the end of the workshop, you will be able to recognize the 9 behaviors and attitude that you need to be a good entrepreneur. You will be able to describe the 3 skills to become an entrepreneur. You will be able to explain what is the market dominating position and how you can achieve it. You'll be able to identify your niche accurately. And you will be able to list the 7 basic knowledge elements of entrepreneurship. Do you think this will be useful if you get so much in a 2-hour workshop? Yes, no?
Certainly,
Anybody?
yes.
Yes.
Certainly, yes. Something new, right? Some words may be new. I'm sure in your journey, in your institutions and colleges, you have heard about it, but some new perspectives. All right. Some startling statistics to begin with. More than 6.5 crore MSCs are there in India today. More than 6.5 crore MSCs. More than 4 crore plus SMEs, medium, small and medium entrepreneurs, small and medium enterprises, entrepreneurs, call them whatever you want. These contribute to close to more than 31% of the GDP of India. Startling Statistics. More than 7 crore plus families supported. And now comes the most startling statistics. More than 70% of them making losses. What do you think? Entrepreneurship is good or bad?
It's good
Huge
if we learn
opportunity.
from our mistakes.
Absolutely. There's huge potential if you want to be an, one can look at it in a very, very disappointing way, or one can look at it and say, wow, there is a great opportunity. And that's why I began the story of the egg, potato, and the coffee. So, how you look at it, this is the situation. How you respond to this situation is entirely in your hand. You want to be the coffee and make a difference out there, right? You don't want to be a potato or an egg. So, brilliant. Some basic norms for this workshop: reflect, don't react. Maybe some things I say I may take you through may not make sense to you at all. Reflect on it, don't react. Introspect, don't reject. Even if you don't accept what I'm saying, introspect on it, don't reject it. Assess your own self, not others in the workshop. If at all we go through some little assessments, assess your own self. Don't worry about what others are thinking, saying, will say. And how many of you have heard about Swami Vivekananda? How many of you have heard about Swami Vivekananda? You've heard, right? The great monk of India. When I come to workshops, when I go and do workshops, I find many Swami Vivekanandas in it. Here, I don't even know whether there are any Vivekanandas or not. Vivekananda ji had this brilliant ability to, capture everything like a photograph, whatever he saw. He didn't need any books. He didn't need anything to write, etc., etc. Everything used to be, imprinted in his brain like a photograph. And I see many Vivekanandas in my workshops, in my offline workshops. They'll come and sit there a whole day of workshop, not a pen, not a book in their hand, as if, they'll remember everything, whatever they hear, see, do. So don't do that. If you're sitting wherever you are, please sit with a pen and a book and take notes. Don't just listen. It'll help you in your journey. Take notes. Take notes. Brilliant. What are the 9 foundational business principles that I spoke about? These are an integral part of an entrepreneur's behavior and attitude development. And that is why I've included them here. Start with the why. What does that mean? Start with the why. Anybody? Why is why important?
Why makes us to think in different perspectives. Why I'm doing,
Absolutely.
why this is going to be beneficial,
Absolutely.
why this is needed by the public.
Correct. What is the purpose? What is your purpose in this journey? My purpose in today, the journey that I'm taking is that before I leave this earth, even if I can touch 250 business owners and make a difference in their life, I'm happy. I don't want to go about propagating saying that I want to touch 1 billion entrepreneurs. No. Even if I can make a difference in just 250 entrepreneurs by the year 2030, that's good enough for me. And I've already touched about 19,000 participants through trainings. If that number can touch about 50,000, that's great. My purpose is to see that you succeed. And how do I do it? By encouraging you to learn, empowering you to perform, and enabling you to succeed. That's my purpose. Without a strong, alive, and active why, everything becomes mediocre. This is the first thing, the first attitude and behavior that you need to learn if you have not learned it yet. Wanting to be an entrepreneur is one thing, but you need to know very clearly what is your purpose and why are you doing a business, or why are you wanting to do a business? Who are you doing this for? So I'm doing it for my near and dear ones to begin with. And I'm doing it for the divine, more importantly, because I strongly believe that I'm an instrument of that grace. And whatever that grace wants me to do is what I'm doing right now. So be clear. And what's your end game? It can't go on and on and on and on, right? At some point in time, you'll exit from that business, or you might want to exit. Be clear in that. This is the attitude with which, if you enter, you'll know exactly what you want to do, who are you doing it for, and when do you want to end it. There is something more beyond just business and money and everything. We all need to take that journey eventually. So be clear. That's the first principle. Why? The second principle is, how much do you want it? How much do you want it? What do you understand by this? How much do you want it?
Sir, can you please again explain that? What is your end game?
What is your end game is, when do you want to leave, either by selling it out? That could be one of your end games. Or you may say that I will stop it when I earn 100 crores. I'll stop it when I earn 10 crores. What is your end game? What do you want to do? What legacy do you want to leave behind? That's the end game, right? Does that answer your question, whoever asked it?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right. How much do you want it? How much do you want it? This is important. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, do a small activity right now in your books. On a scale of 1 to 10, measure how much do you want it? How badly do you want to be an entrepreneur? And some of you can unmute and say 1 to 10, mein jitna bhi. 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. How many of you aspire to be an entrepreneur? On a scale of 1 to 10. You can say 8, 9, 5, 7, whatever. What's your aspiration? Go ahead. Don't worry about what others will think. No answers? Don't want to be an entrepreneur? Don't want to announce
Maybe
it.
8, sir.
Maybe 8. Yeah, maybe 8. Now next, do the next assessment. Whoever spoke, your good name, sir?
Amit Kumar.
Amit. Okay, do the next assessment, Amit. If you are saying that on a scale of 1 to 10, you are wanting from inside an 8, are your actions on a scale of 1 to 10 at 8 in order for you to get results? Are you taking those kind of actions to be an entrepreneur? What actions are you taking? Does that make sense? This is the first attitude you need to develop. And we'll discuss about this a little later. Because your results will correspond to your actions, not your wants. Isn't it? You may want whatever, but if you don't take actions, nothing will happen. Action brings traction. How many of you believe this to be true? Action brings traction. Inaction brings confusion. You may want certain things, but if you don't act, it's not going to happen. Let me just change this also. It is not looking very good on the screen. Let me make it red so that, yeah. So that's the second principle, or the behavior or attitude you need to carry. Take massive action. Otherwise, you're not going to get there. Third, how much money do you want to make? And your behavior, your attitude will directly depend on this. What do you think? How much money do you want to make? And do you think your prospects, your customers will buy your products and services? What do you think? I'm sorry, there is some background band going on. You may hear some noise in the society. So excuse me for that. All right, people pay you for the transformation you're causing, not for your product or services, isn't it? Think about it. People pay you for the transformation they see. What value are you providing? Ask yourself this every single day. What value are you providing to your customer, or do you want to provide to your customer? Not otherwise. And how are you transforming lives? Not it's, there's a small typo there. It's not how How are you transforming lives? Very, very important. People don't pay you for your products or services, and I'll explain this a little later. Is it making sense, guys? This is the
Yes, sir.
behavior attitude part. It's very, very important to understand these things. Okay. How are you getting better? What do you think? What are you doing every single day to get better in life? What are you doing? How many hours do you spend on a social media? How many hours do you spend upgrading yourself? Yeah. Ask yourself. Making small incremental gains to better your deliverables is a surefire way to success. Ma'am, just give me a moment. I'll go and close all the windows if possible. Just give me a moment. Huh?
Sure,
Otherwise,
sir.
the noise
Yeah.
will disturb you. Just give me a moment.
Harshit? Harshit,
Yes, ma'am.
you're there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Please try
Yes,
to
ma'am.
take the photos, no? Like snapshots.
Of the
Yeah.
okay, of the PDF.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, ma'am. This is the
Yeah, yes,
best
sir.
I can do. So, what incremental changes or gains to better your deliverables are you doing every single day? How are you making your deliverables better? Imagine that you're doing an entrepreneurship or a business. What are you doing to make sure that whatever you're giving is becoming better and better every single day? Keep asking this question. Let's do a small exercise. Again, your books and pens to be out. Books and pens to be out. Commitment is fickle. Do you agree? You have to manage it every day and you have to recommit every day. Write down 3 things you did today to be successful. Each of you can write down 3 things you did today to be successful. What did you do today? What actions did you take today to be successful? Write it down. And one of you can read it out as well. Don't worry about right or wrong. Write 3 things you did today, and you'll find this very, very difficult to do because many of your days we are doing nothing to be successful. Literally, we're just existing. Can you figure out and write 3 things you did today to be successful? Anybody wants to share? And it could be things you think you need to be successful. That's perfectly fine. There's no hard and fast rule. Don't worry about right or wrong. Anybody. Before you go to bed today, write this. And before you go to bed today, write 3 things you will do to be successful tomorrow. And that's why I said you will take certain things from today's workshop or this talk, which you will never ever forget in your life. Even if you do this one thing every single day, I guarantee you will find success. I guarantee you will find success. Because not many people do this in the world. And you'll be one of them. Write 3 things you did to be successful today, and write 3 things you will do to be successful. And what did we learn before this? Results come out of actions. So take actions, massive actions. That's the attitude, that's the behavior. Brilliant. Participation. The way I do one thing is the way I do everything. Show up 100%. And that is why I said the people who have not even switched on their cameras, I have no issues. I have no issues. There may be bandwidth issue, there may be no issue, but this is how you'll do everything in life. What you do, how you do anything is how you do everything in life. This is exactly how you will behave, whether it's a meeting, whether it's an important event, whether it is not important event, this is how you will behave. So take a look at your attitude. It's very, very important. If this happens in a foreign country, they will literally take it as insult to the speaker. I'm not complaining. I will not, because I have promised the divine not to complain about anything. But it's important to voice your views. Very important. This is not a complaint, but I'm just bringing it to your attention that how you do anything is how you do everything. Are you 100% here? I don't even know, are you 100% here? On a scale of 1 to 10, measure how much do you participate each time. How much do you participate each time? If you're not 100%, then don't expect 100% results. You will not get it, period. No matter what you do, because you're not giving your 100%. Then how will you get 100% results? This is a behavior. This is an attitude. You need to be able to, develop as an entrepreneur. Yeah. Okay. Every time, very, very important. Every time, this is another principle. Consistency compounds results. Inconsistency drowns efforts, kills energy, and strangles hopes to crush dreams. Make a commitment to be consistent every single time. When you do things consistently, that's when you'll start seeing results as an entrepreneur. This cannot be compromised. This word cannot be compromised. Consistency. Honor. This is known as integrity in a different way if one talks about it. This is integrity. Honor your commitment. Do what you said you will do. If people can't experience your honor, they won't honor your requests, invitations, and offers. Isn't it? Why would anybody want to work with you as an entrepreneur? If you don't deliver, if they don't experience your honor. And what is integrity? What is integrity? Anybody?
What we say, we'll follow it.
What we say, we follow. It's what you do when people are not watching you. Here, 20 people, 26 people, more people on the YouTube are watching us, yet we don't follow. Are we having the integrity to our own selves? Ask that question to yourself. Not me. I'm fine. As I said, I'm fine. It's your life. You make it the way you want. Sure. Brilliant. Know your goals. Commit to an action and do what you said you will do. That is important. That is called as honor. And the last one is courage. Courage. Have you heard of this word called fear? And this is one of the biggest reasons why we don't do what we do. What we don't do. What is fear? What is fear? Anybody? There's a saying that it is false evidence appearing real. Really, there's nothing. False evidence. There are two types of fear. There is unreal and there is real fear. And more often than not, we face unreal fear, imaginative fear. Real fear is when somebody puts a gun to your head, let's say, and now the finger is on the trigger. That's real fear. Real fear is when you know that the plane is going to crash. That is real fear. But most of the time, it is unreal fear. And how do you beat fear? Through courage. You can forget everything and run. That is also fear. You can forget everything and run. That is cowardice. Or you face everything and rise above it. That is also fear. So you can only face fear with fear, and that's courage. Face everything and rise above it. That's courage. Courage is taking action despite fear. Fear stops you. Courage guarantees confidence, and confidence guarantees success. Courage is taking action despite fear. Very, very important principles. If you can cultivate these 9 behaviors and attitudes, you would have laid the foundation of your success as an entrepreneur. I have no doubt about it. Ask yourself, what is the worst that will happen? What is the worst that will happen? A field marshal was patrolling his troops, standing here, and an army man comes in and tells him, one of the sepoys, that enemy has covered or surrounded us from all the sides. And this field marshal says, it is good, isn't it? You don't have to worry. Fire in any direction you want, because you're surrounded by enemies all around. What's the worst that can happen? That's happened already. You can't go below that. So, what's the worst? Ask yourself when you get into business, what's the worst that can happen? You fail. So what? I failed CA examinations 10 times. Doesn't matter. Fail, as described by Abdul Kalam sir, is first attempt in learning. Fail. First attempt in learning is fail. If you don't fail, in fact, some of the academies, some of the universities in Australia don't take coaches, don't take instructors, don't take people if they have not failed in their life because they don't know how to handle failure. So I failed 10 times at a young age, from the age of about 18 to 20, 22, 23. It helped me a lot in my journey. So today I'm not worried. At the age of 49, I rediscovered myself from being a corporate director, completely started as an entrepreneur from the scratch at the age of 49. Not boasting, but that fear was not there. What's the worst that could happen? I'll fail. If in 6 months I don't set up properly, I can always go back to the corporate. There was still a lot of demand for me. So these are some of the foundational principles. Any questions thus far? Is it making sense to you, all of you? Yes, no? Are you enjoying it? Am I being too harsh? Am I being too soft? Yes, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Amit only is saying yes. Only Amit, me and ma'am are there in this program. Rest everybody is asleep. Pata nahi. Anyway, chalo, aage
Yes, sir.
badhte. What skills?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir, we are also with you only.
You're also. Okay, great. Great to hear that. What skills should you develop to become an entrepreneur? Let's take the next journey. Okay, write down what's the number one challenge you're currently facing. What is the number one challenge you're currently facing? And this is where I would love to do a small exercise with all of you. Now I'm going to change it to orange because orange is better visible in black background. Okay, we just discussed what brings results. Where do results come from? We discussed just now, some time back.
Attempt.
Huh?
By attempting.
By attempting. What is another word for attempt?
Grabbing an opportunity.
Grabbing an opportunity. Okay, what's another word for grabbing an opportunity?
Identifying the gap.
Actions.
Huh?
Actions.
Actions. Brilliant, brilliant. Action. Take action, only then you will get results. Brilliant. Where do actions come from?
Thoughts. Thought process.
Thought processes. Okay. If they come from thoughts, do you act on every thought that comes to your mind?
No, sir.
Think and
No.
answer. We don't,
No.
right? So there has to be something else accompanied with it. What is that?
Possibility in practical.
Possibility and practical. And where is that possibility and practical coming from?
By surroundings and
Yes.
by all the environment factors influence us to act like that.
Yeah. Can we put it down in simple words as feelings? Ask yourself. If you don't feel, if you're not emotionally connected with what you're doing, you'll not do it. What's your favorite subject in this MTech, BTech, whatever that you're doing right now, PhD, MHD, whatever that you're doing? What is your favorite subject? Sharad sir will say math. Because he is emotionally connected. He loves mathematics. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, yes, sir.
There's a lot of feeling that is there in it. And unless that happens, you're not going to work on it. Now, understand this, everybody. Repeated action. When it is repeated, what does it become?
Practice.
Repeated action becomes a behavior.
Habit or behavior.
And repeated behavior becomes habits.
Habits.
And repeated habits is what get you results or don't get you results. One of the two. Both will happen. Either it'll get you results or it'll don't get you results. Is it making sense? So far, so good?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay. I hope you have written your one challenge,
Yes.
everybody. Write down one of the challenges that you're facing right now. Okay. Now, one of you can unmute your video if possible. Just engage with me for maybe a minute or so, then you can mute your video if you want. Doesn't matter. Anybody, doesn't matter. Let's move ahead because we are wasting otherwise time, both our times, your time and my time. So anybody can unmute on their video and the audio and just engage with me for about a minute or so. Anybody, quickly. Ma'am, you can only go. Or sir, Sharad sir, if you're there, you can unmute. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Sharad sir, where is your brain? Could you touch and show me where your brain is? Yeah, it's there. That's the answer we give, right? The brain is here, so we say. But the brain technically is throughout your body. It emanates from the spinal cord because all the nervous system and the nerves and the messages that go to the brain comes from the spinal cord. Number one. Now, where's your mind? Can you touch and show me?
Mind, again, it is abstract, but again, I will
Again,
say
we say
something.
this. Again,
Yeah.
we say this. Technically, mind is a creation of the brain.
That's what I said, abstract.
Mind is a creation of the brain, isn't it? Now, repeated thoughts and feelings, where are these emanating from? Where do these emanate from?
It is within ourselves.
Sorry?
Yeah, it is within ourselves.
It is within ourselves, our beliefs,
Yeah,
our values, our surrounding, our thoughts. Truth need not even be told. It exists and it will exist even after we go away. Now, repeated thoughts and feelings about anything that you do is known as a mindset. I'll give you an example for it. When I started working in 1990 and 93, I got married. And by 93, my salary was about 7,000 rupees per month when I got married. It was okay. In those days, it is considered to be reasonably good salary.
yeah.
Not bad at all for a 26-year-old guy at that time. So, one of my friends said, Shankar, you have good market standing, reputation, your bank credit is good, you have no credit card liabilities, you don't have this, that. I want to take a loan of about 20,000 rupees. My bank is not giving me a loan. They are asking me for a guarantor. You just have to sign one paper and don't worry, I'll repay it every single month. Don't worry about it. Okay, in good faith, I signed. Now, when it came to paying the EMIs, this guy was defaulting time and again. He was not paying the EMIs. And finally, so much so happened that they encashed the bank guarantee. And I ended up repaying the loan. Now that day, because of whatever I've written here on the screen, my beliefs, my values, my thoughts, the truth, or whatever, I formed a mindset in my brain here, saying that never, ever lend money to friends. They may not give you back. It may be a wrong mindset altogether. About 2 months ago, I was coaching a CEO and he felt his English is bad. That's the number one challenge he was facing when he came to me. And I asked him, when I grilled deep, it all came out that he was badly insulted by one of his teachers when he was in 10th standard. Very badly insulted for his communication skills. And people around them, his family members, his friends, his relatives, everybody added to that, saying that he's not a good communicator, he needs to improve. And that became a repeated dialogue in his mind. And therefore, Joe is a CEO, he's thinking that I'm not a good communicator. This is the problem. In this real world, there are two types of realities. One is a physical reality and one is a created reality. Physical is physical. Now today you're sitting on a chair. I can see that chair behind you. There will be a laptop maybe in front of you. There is a table in front of you. Each one has got that sitting here. That's physical reality. But there's also created reality because human beings have been given the faculty of language. We don't understand animal languages. If we try hard, we will, but we don't. But we have got words. We give words to our thoughts. And over a period of time, that repeated words become our mindset. In short, whatever you set your mind on becomes your mindset. Is it making sense, everybody? Your number one challenge is not a challenge. It's a challenge because you've set your mind on it as a challenge. And that's the first skill you need to learn if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, is to develop a positive mindset. Let me ask you a simple question. Parliament House, is it physical or created? Parliament House. Physical, right? You can see it. Vidhan Sauda, whatever, you can see it. Parliament is a created reality. A set of people, the definition given in the constitution or wherever, a set of people who are elected by the citizens of the country and who are permitted to take decisions on their behalf to run the country are collectively known as parliament. It's a created reality. Tomorrow, if you don't elect them, they are not going to be there. Man is a physical reality. Women is a physical reality. Relationships are created realities. We have given the words. Whether it is right, wrong, I'm not getting to that. But husband, wife is a created reality. Entrepreneur is a created reality. A word given, that's all. Think about it. It's a mindset. And if we have got a negative mindset towards a challenge, we will never be able to do it and work on it. How does it come? Situation is bad. You start developing a negative mindset. You start believing something is wrong. That belief lives like a truth within you. It is not the truth. You created it. You can alter it. Get into your own mindset. 90% of the job is done. Rest is transactional. Believe me when I'm saying this. Make yourself active, diligent, and resourceful. Get to the source of the conversation internally within yourself and externally when you're talking to your customers or prospects or whoever. It's magical. It's magical. For example, how do you really relate this to an example? And this is my example I'm giving you. True, real example. The steps that you need to get to that mindset is it has to be personal. So this is a tool I'm giving you, the 5 P's of rewriting a positive mindset. There are 5 P's. You can work on this, each one of you today. Maybe not here, we don't have that much of time, but a framework is being given to you. It has to be personal. It has to start with I, because you take ownership of it. Positive. It has to be I am strong. It cannot be I will try. So it has to be something in the present. It has to have a potential. It's something that has to inspire you in the future. And it has to be powerful. The 5 P's of developing a strong mindset, and this is a skill. It can be developed. It's a skill. The more you write, the more you will develop it, and the better you will get at it. A simple way to do it is tonight, before going to sleep, tonight, and do this every single night. Before going to sleep, ask yourself, what is it that you wanted to do today but you did not do? Ask yourself, what is it that you wanted to do today but you did not do? And what excuses are you giving yourself to justify it? Note it down, write down. What justifications are you giving to your own self for not doing it? It could be anything like, "Arey yaar, I'm already doing so much. How much more will I do?" Does it happen? Has it happened to any of you? Sharad sir, has it happened to you?
Yes,
At any
yes, it
point of
happens.
time? It
It
happens,
happens,
right?
sir. Yeah, it happens.
And the worst part is, if you watch the pattern every single day, and if this is happening regularly, that's your mindset. You've set your mind on that conversation inside your mind. It's a skill, I'm telling you, you can reframe it. This is an example of it. My current negative mindset when I started doing entrepreneurship or business coaching or whatever I started learning was, I don't know how to do marketing and selling. Hence, I'm not capable of growing my business beyond a point. This is a negative mindset. I had set, this is my conversation. Every day, if I want to do some marketing tomorrow, and I'll tell myself before going to sleep, you can't do it. You're not a marketing guy, you're not a selling guy. Unfortunate, but the reality. Created reality. This is created reality. Is it making sense what I'm telling you, everybody? This is created reality. This is not real. You created it in a moment of emotional turmoil within you. Now you can reframe it. This is my reframed positive mindset. I do whatever it takes to grow my business. Period. This is not chauvinism. It's following that principle. 5 P's. It's personal. I do whatever it takes to grow my business. It's positive. It's present. Not I will try. I do whatever it takes to grow my business. It's got potential and it is powerful. Is it making sense, everybody? Sir, did it make sense to you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Very, very powerful. Believe me, if you start doing this every single day, you are going to see the magic work over the next 3 months to 6 months. I guarantee you. Just go back when you're going to bed, write down what is it that you wanted to do but you did not do, or what is it that you wanted to do and you did it. Both you write down, positive and negative, and see what's the dialogue going on in your mind. And if you take what you wanted to do and you did it and apply it to what you didn't want to do, I mean, what you wanted to do but you did not do, it will change that into a positive thing. You will do whatever it takes. It's very, very simple. This is the first skill set you need to develop as an entrepreneur. I was telling Sharad sir before starting today's session that it is not going to be just a run of the mill kind of a program. These things you will not get anywhere. This is very different. Develop this mindset. We can do a lot of exercises on this, but we don't have the time for it today. But at least you're getting the idea. I'm giving you a framework. You can click a screenshot of this page, note down the way I have noted it down here, current negative mindset and reframed positive mindset. And after doing this, what you need to do is take a big printout of it, color printout or whatever, put it in bathroom, put it in bedroom, put it in mirrors, put it on softboard near you, in front of you, put it on your as your mobile screen background saver or whatever. Every time you see it, this word should ring. I will do whatever, not I will, I do whatever it takes. I do whatever it takes. This is my words. You can do whatever you want. You'll develop a positive mindset. That's the first skill. The next skill. Any doubts on this? Any doubts still here? Anybody? Anything you want me to explain again? Is it making sense?
I request the audience to please be participative.
I'm extremely sorry about the background noise, but I guess it'll go away because they are traveling now. Hopefully it'll go away after a while. This is not anticipated at all. We don't know what is this seriously, but hopefully my voice is coming through clearly. And
Yes,
there's not
sir.
much of a disturbance of that background
It is not
noise.
much disturbance.
Okay, good. Let's move. The 6 levers of your business growth.
There is a question, I think, from audience.
Sorry, ma'am.
There is a question from the audience, I think. Is there anyone
Yes,
who
yes.
has a question?
Sir, how to make this continuity of this positive
Amit,
mindset?
just speak up a little bit. I am so sorry that I am not able to hear you.
Sir, how to make this continuity of this positive mindset means
How to keep continuity is, Amit, if I ask you, how are you keeping continuity of your negative mindset? is a repeated thought, right? We said where does mindset emanate from? If you go back a little bit on this, we have done so much.
Repeated
Where is mindset?
thoughts,
Change
beliefs.
your thoughts and feelings. If the
Yeah,
input
yeah.
is correct, the output will be correct. The change the input, and the input has to be this. Get to the root of the conversation. Get to the source of the internal conversation. Where is it coming from? If you go deeper and deeper and deeper, some problem would have happened to you in your childhood or adolescence or wherever. And if you get to the root of that and say, that's over, finished, done, I can't do anything about it, it's over. And that's true, right? The moment I twitch like this, the moment I twitch, the twitch is over. I can't take it back. It's over. What's the point in dwelling over it? It's over. What can I do right now? Right now, what can
Yes.
I do? That's the conversation you need to have. And that is this. Right now, what can I do? I will do whatever it takes. Period. No excuses. So here is a beautiful concept I'll give you and it will answer your question. I'm doing it in this. It's known as or versus bed. Or versus bed. Ownership, accountability, responsibility versus blame, excuses, denial. This is a beautiful concept. Or versus bed. Above the line, below the line. Below the line, people, unsuccessful mindset. Above the line, people, successful mindset. For example, why are you not successful in your entrepreneurship? It's because other people are not helping me. It's because of I'm not getting prospects. Don't blame. Don't blame anybody else. Blame yourself. Don't give excuses. I can't get up early. I can't stay late night. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do. That conversation has to be out. And then don't live in denial after that. If you are fat and if you don't accept that you're fat, you're not going to be able to work to reduce your weight. If you're hungry and if you say, I'm not hungry, don't live in denial. You'll fall sick. Above the line, they take ownership. What can I do about it? They take accountability. They take responsibility. I've taught this to my daughter. She's 23 today. But when she was when I started my journey and when I learned this about 4-5 years back, I taught it to her. She was in her second year, 12th standard or whatever at that time. I taught this. She'll come back from the exam and blame the teachers. Teacher always gives a difficult paper. Excuses. The paper was so lengthy, otherwise I could have finished it. And then living in denial, but I'll get good marks. How? How will you get good marks? Think. Did you take ownership? What stopped you from writing and practicing? Did you take accountability that I will finish the entire paper no matter what happens? Did you take responsibility? That is what will get you to the positive mindset. Does that answer your question, Amit?
It's clear.
This is a powerful concept. Again, I'm telling you, if you guys take just this one concept, teach it to yourself, teach it to anybody who comes into contact with you, your life will change. I'm not saying that people won't be below the line, but how quickly can you come above the line will change your life. How quickly can you come above the line will change your life. So let's look at the 6 levers of business growth. Again, not taught in any of your regular business curriculums. Have you heard of lead and lagging indicators? Anybody? What do you understand by lead and lag indicators? Anybody?
Lead are the one which are like driving.
Sorry?
Leading are the one which are like driving.
Leading are
us
the ones which are driving, okay?
in a
And
positive
lagging?
way. Lagging are the one which stops us.
Stops us. Okay. Nice attempt. I'm not saying right, wrong. Let me give you an example and then maybe see if it makes sense to all of you. This is a cricket ground. That's the pitch. And 2 players are standing right in the middle here and discussing, looking at the scoreboard. We need to score 120 runs in the next 10 overs. My God, 12 runs per over. I don't know how we're going to score it. One person says, yeah, man, it looks difficult. Will this Will these two batsmen be able to accomplish their task? But if they saw that this side of the ground is small, this side of the ground is bigger, and out of these 10 overs, there are still 4 overs left to be bowled by a weaker bowler, we can hit that bowler for more sixes on this side. We can run more runs on this side because this side is longer, etc., etc. At least they are taking actions to get to a point where they will start seeing results. Isn't it? Lead measures are these actions. Lag measures are nothing but your variance analysis, your budgets. They tell you what happened. They're not bad. They are also needed. Remember, you need a scorer to tell you how the scoreboard is moving. But scorer is not the one who takes the action. It is the batsman who is there in the middle, or the bowlers who are there in the middle, or the fielders who are there in the middle that take the action, isn't it? Both are important. But if you take actions based on lead measures, you will grow your business and become a better entrepreneur. And those levers are known as the 6 levers of business. That's another skill you need to develop as an entrepreneur if you want to grow your business consistently. Now, what's the biggest challenge I asked you? This is the biggest challenge that I have spoken to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and this is one of their biggest challenges. All of them want to generate leads. All of them want, but very few know how to generate leads. Isn't it a challenge? Is it a challenge for you also, ma'am, sir, to get more and more enrollments into your college? Or you're so famous that people just drop into your college? Isn't it? For you, leads means more enrollments, right? Am I right, Sharad sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is it a challenge? You also have some targets, right? I need to get so many people, so many students to enroll into my
No, sir.
college
For
and
us,
university.
for us, we don't have that.
Huh?
For us, we don't have that because this is all with IIT JE entrance.
Yeah, that's why I said
But
that
the
you may not have. But in
outcome
business,
from the students,
in
the
business,
performance
if
of
you
the
see,
student.
this is a challenge.
Yeah.
They all want customers, they all want leads, but they don't know how to generate leads. And the next thing is 97% of the business owners feel lost or overwhelmed when they hear these words: website, social media, search engine optimization, email marketing, etc., etc., etc. They've not realized the power of social media today. Believe me. They have a website, but it's more like a biodata. Doesn't work. They have social media presence, but they are absent in that. They just have an account, they are absent. They don't do email marketing. They don't do marketing at all. And they want their business to grow. This is a challenge. And I teach them this rule of 80-20. I'm sure you all have learned it, the Pareto rule. 80% of your business comes from 20% of your clients, isn't it? Comes from 20% clients and 20% from the rest 80%. This is a general rule. You take this in time management, it tells you that 80% of your tasks will take 20% of your time, 20% of your tasks will take 80% of the time. It is known as the Pareto rule in the world. Now, how does it apply to entrepreneurship? Concentrate on 20% of the activities that generate 80% of your total annual revenue. What do you think will it help if you do this? If you concentrate on 20% of the activities as an entrepreneur, that will generate 80% of your total annual revenue. Do you think it will help you?
Yes, sir.
It will help, right?
Yes, sir.
And I am giving you that secret today. What are those 20% of the activities? These are the 20% of the activities. There are only 6 elements in the business that you need to continuously keep working on as an entrepreneur. And those are known as suspects, conversion percentage, converting them into lead conversion percentage, converts them into customers, the average number of times the customers buy, what's the average value, and what is your margin percentage. Let's look at it with a very concrete example. Sharad sir, one small request.
Yes, sir.
Could you open your mobile? And all of you can do this. Okay, all of you can do this. Could you open your mobile?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, go to the contacts list and tell me how many contacts do you have? Number of contacts?
That is not so near. Actually,
But
but there are many.
Roughly, what do you think? 1,000 plus at least?
Yeah, it will be there, I think.
Right? So, out of this 1,000 plus contacts, how many of them exactly know what you do? And look at it from a business perspective. Remove your relatives and all. Let's remove about 100 for relatives. Let's say there are 900 more. Do these 900 people exactly know what Sharad sir does?
No, that's
No,
not the
right?
case. Yeah,
They don't.
yeah,
Maybe about 20%, 30% will know.
exactly.
Now, if the rest 600 and you put a cold caller in your university or whatever, and somebody gives them a call to say that, hey, I'm calling you from NIT and this is what we do and whatever. And if you think somebody needs an admission here, please, you may guide them here. How many people do you think will take some action out of it? At least 10, 20%?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's say 20% take action, which means another 120 enrollments. If each enrollment pays you, I don't know what your fees are, let's presume 2 lakhs at least. How much is that in terms of money? 120 into 2 lakhs. That's a lot of money, right? At least it'll, once they convert into a lead, then the enrollment process in your university, and because of the name of your university or institution being so powerful, it generally converts into a client. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And if somebody is coming just for BTech, from BTech, if you don't leave them, if you can make sure that they do MTech, and if you can make sure thereafter that they do their PhD or MPhil or whatever, which means, are you making them buy more times from you?
Yes, sir.
Is it? You're
Yes,
making them
yes.
buy more times from you, right? They enroll
Yeah,
means
yeah.
that they buy more
Exactly.
courses.
They are attached.
And the more they buy from you, the more revenue you will generate.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is a simple mathematical formula, but it is mind-boggling, I'm telling you. Now, just look at this example. In this, I have suspects of 5,000 people in my phone directory. I'm not even looking at my LinkedIn, Facebook, any other containers that I have. I just have, let's say, on my phone book, I have 5,000 people. Suspects. I'm not saying they are yet my customers or my leads. But I take some action to reach out to them every single day and provide value to them. And looking at that value, let's say about 20% of them take some action. So I get about 1,000 leads in a year from there. And if my conversion ratio, when they come to me, if I can convert about 20% of them into paying customers, and if each customer buys 2 times from me, and on an average they buy about 25,000 worth services, I make 1 crore of rupees as my revenue. 1 crore of rupees. And if I work on a 20% margin, I make 20 lakhs profit, net profit. And the beauty is now, even if you can increase just each of these levers by 10%, just by 10%, look at this, your profit grows by 61%. And if you can increase each of them by 15%, you double your profit. This is a magical way of looking at it. Or this is doable as an entrepreneur. How many of you who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs here understand this? This is not accounting, guys. And anybody who says I'm not a finance guy, I will not accept it. Everybody is a finance guy. Does this make sense? Any sense to you? And is it doable? If you are getting 1,000 leads today, can you not make it 1,100 in the next year? Can you not put in that little effort of 10%? At least beat the inflation. Inflation is going up by 7-8%. So if you don't grow beyond the inflation, will you make any money as an entrepreneur? Is it making sense, sir?
Yes, sir.
And even if you are increasing it by 15%, your profits will double. And this is what, just by increasing these levers by 15%, your profit doubles. And all these ones which are in blue are nothing but lead measures. And that is why lead measures are important. Lag measures are important, no doubt, but lead measures are more important because they are more action oriented. And as an entrepreneur, if you develop the skill of keeping a tab of this every single day, week, month, quarter, 6 months, and annually, there is no way that your business cannot not grow. This is a skill you need to learn. I can't teach you this skill today. If you want to learn this skill, I'm not selling anything. I'm not here to sell. That's a promise I make whenever I'm called as a speaker. I don't sell any of my products or services. But if you want to learn this, there are ways and means in which you can learn it. But does that make sense? Others, forget about Sharad sir and anybody else. You are in an entrepreneurial journey, aspiring to be an entrepreneur. Does that make sense to you even remotely? Did you learn anything new today? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it making sense? Am
Yes,
I
sir.
making any sense? I've been talking here for almost now 1 hour, 10 minutes. Am I making sense or just cock and bull stories I'm giving you?
No, sir. It's
No,
very
sir, no.
complete sense.
This is the most powerful thing you can ever get if you want to be an entrepreneur. 80% of your business comes from here. And if you don't know, if you don't understand this as an entrepreneur, you can kiss your business goodbye. Just 6 levers, work on these, learn the skill. Suspects are people who you think can be prospective buyers. Leads, they then get converted into leads. Leads are those people who are showing interest in your product. Convert them into paying customers. You make more money by selling more products to the same customer or by selling higher value products to the same customer or by bringing in new customers. It's as simple as that. And you know your margins. And how do I increase margins? Well, either by increasing your revenue or by managing your costs in a better way. Today, with the pandemic situation, which is, we have come out of it by God's grace, everything is negotiable. Everything is negotiable. Right from your rent to your travel to everything is negotiable today. Even if you're able to arm twist your vendors by 2 to 3%, and that's not a big amount in terms of percentages, but those 2 to 3% in each of your expense head, if you can manage, will directly go to your bottom line because already your fixed expenses are there. If you can cut certain expenses, it adds to your bottom line. This is what you need to learn as an entrepreneur. This portion helps you to increase your revenue, and this portion helps you to cut your costs. This is a skill you need to learn. The second skill. First was the mindset. Second is this. Any questions on this? Clear on this, everybody? Shall we move to the next one? Yes?
Yes, sir.
No? Okay, brilliant. What do you understand by this? People don't want to buy a 1/4 inch drill bit. What do you understand when you see this drawing? People don't want to buy a 1/4 inch drill bit. Anybody?
Nowadays, people or customers wants a lot of customization. What is their requirement rather than what is available?
Sure, brilliant. Any other answers? Okay, let me explain this to you in a simpler way. So, a gentleman has constructed this house. Okay. And he is doing the Graha Pravesham Puja, and he has a portrait of picture in which there are 3 generations of people who have come to attend the function. Now he wants to make a big portrait out of this because he's very, very emotionally connected with this picture. And he goes to a shop owner A, and he asks him, "Do you have a 1/4-inch drill bit?" And shop owner A says, "I don't have it." So logically, the man asks another question: "Is there any other place where I can get the 1/4-inch drill bit?" So shop owner A says, "There is shop owner B. Please go to his shop, you will get it there." So this man goes to shop owner B and asks, "Do you have a 1/4-inch drill bit?" And he says, "I also don't have." Now this man is very disappointed, and he is scratching his head, and he's thinking, what should I do now? But this shop owner B asks him a very relevant question: why do you need a 1/4-inch drill bit? And he explains this entire Mahabharata to him. And the shop owner B says, "Oh sir, I don't have a 1/4-inch drill bit, but I have 2 double-sided hooks like this, and they work on a principle of a sticky paper, which if you remove, you can stick them on the wall. And if you have 2 of them, they can hold up to 50 kgs weight. Your wall doesn't need to be spoiled by drilling a hole, and they can be used and reused 30 times over. They cost about 50% more than the drill bit. Will you want to buy it, sir?" If you were in that person's place, will you buy this? What is your answer? Will you buy it, or you will still look for a drill bit? What's your answer?
We'll buy it.
You'll buy it, right? Because it is solving your immediate problem. I told you this dialogue when I was discussing principles with you. People don't buy your products or services. They are not interested in your products or services. Customers buy solutions to their pain. So that's another skill you have to develop as an entrepreneur. Start thinking solutions to problems. Don't worry about my products and services. Provide massive value, because when you provide value is when they see the transformation happening in themselves. And you'll have to learn this skill. This is a skill. When you learn this skill, it takes you to what is known as a market position, market dominating position. It is a combination of 2 things: a problem your prospects or customers have and they don't want, a solution they need but they don't have. Let's go back to the same example. A problem that the customer has but he doesn't want. He doesn't want to drill a hole for sure, but he wants something. A solution he's looking for, he needs but he doesn't have right now. And if this is the solution, he will buy the solution. Is it making sense, everybody? I'll give you a very, very startling example for this, and it'll be absolutely clear. Came pandemic, and lot of people in the grocery store started to feel the pinch. The grocery shop owners, the so-called entrepreneurs. Yes or no? And do you know why they started to feel the pinch?
Because they have a lot of inventory at their end.
Yeah.
They
One is that.
end up into a loss.
One is that. And secondly, they had to give, a lot of things happen in terms of demonetization and digitization and e-payments and, all these Google Pay and Paytm and Bharat Pay and Bheem Pay and this pay and that pay started to come. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, for each payment that they process through that, they have to pay a commission to the vendor, to the merchant. And the merchant will give them the money only after 2-3 days. This was a big problem. And they had to keep so many scanning barcodes. Then came a gentleman, I think Ashnish Grover, the erstwhile owner of Bharat Pay. And he said, I'm going to help you in 2 different ways. Use my whatever, one Bharat Pay code, it will work on all the other scan coding, barcoding, or whatever. Don't worry, I guarantee you that it will work. Number 2, I will not take any commission from you. Number 3, as ma'am said, inventory is a problem, cash flow is a problem. Don't worry, I have tied up with an NBFC and I'll get you cheap loans. Don't worry about the repayment. Whatever money you collect through the scanning of that code and which comes to me, I will deduct a portion of it towards the loan every single day and ensure that you are also paid at the end of the day, whatever money is due to you. And then what happened? Bharat Pay became the number 1 pay app or whatever in this country. They became a market dominating position. They catapulted to a market dominating position. Is it making sense? Those 2 statements, a problem your prospects have and they don't want. That is a problem the grocery shops were facing. Isn't it?
Yes.
They were looking for a solution. Nobody was giving them a solution. And he gave them that solution. Is it making sense, everybody? I mean, this one topic can go on for at least weeks, but I have to explain it in about 10 minutes. Is it making sense, everybody? Market dominating position. As an entrepreneur, if you want to get to market dominating position, don't think product services, think solutions to the pain your customer faces. And if you give those solutions, they will buy from you. That's the message I wanted to give you. Okay, the penultimate section for today is, you've heard of this word called niche or niche. What is this word niche? What does it mean to you? And do you know how to find it? Yes? Yes, Harshit?
Like a particular topic from all
Particular
the
topic.
available things.
Okay. Particular topic.
Focus.
Brilliant. Focus. Okay. Anybody else? What is a niche? And if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is another skill you need to develop in terms of being able to identify your niche. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. You can't be doing 15 different types of businesses and say that you'll be successful in each one of them. It is like saying, I exactly know what the bullseye is. I determine that and then hit my target. This will help you to do that. And this skill, to an extent, you will develop today itself, because I'm going to give you that secret formula. Will that help? Yes? Want to learn it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's go. So finding your niche, it's not a topic, as Harshit said. It's a group of people that you resonate with. And for doing this, you can do this exercise, all of you. Number 1, start with your passions or your strengths. Start with your passion or your strengths. List down your passion or your strength. And what is it in definition? You'll continue to do it even if nobody pays you. That's your passion, because passion doesn't run your business. Passion doesn't get you money. But unless you're passionate about what you want to do as an entrepreneur, you will not do it. It's doing something for a cause, but it's internal to you. Find your passion. So I'll explain this to you with an example and you'll get it clearly. Using that passion, figure out this group of people that you love working with. What problem of theirs can you solve? And are they willing, and do they have the ability to pay you? This is very, very important. Very, very important. Who do you resonate with using these passions and strengths? What problem of theirs can you solve? And for solving those problems, are they willing and do they have the ability to pay you? The combination of all this and what you see here, this red spot, is known as the sweet spot or the niche. This is a definition of niche. And how do we apply it to an example? And that's exactly what I'm going to. Any questions on this? Anybody? You want to know anything more on this? Did you get a clarity on how to find a niche? This is a process, and I'm going to give you examples for this. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir. Till now it's clear.
Clear. Okay, brilliant. Okay,
Can
so
you
let's
give me
look at
one
this.
more example related to pitch?
I'm giving you example. I'm giving you examples. All examples are coming now. Look at this. These are the three things we said. Who do you resonate with? What problems of theirs can you solve? And are they willing and do they have the ability to pay you? Correct? The willingness and ability becomes a critical question. Now, in my case, look at this. I am a trainer. I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. So I resonate and understand the problems of these people. Since I have a lot of audit background, because I'm a chartered accountant and I've done finance and I've done a lot of MIS and reporting and cash flow and you name it, I've done it, mergers, acquisitions, and all that. I also understand the way the manufacturing or service providers work. Because I'm a professional, I'm a chartered accountant, I understand the problems of chartered accountants, company secretaries, ICWAs, people in profession or professionals, doctors, interior designers, etc., etc. I also understand business to business, and I also understand B2C, which is entrepreneurs who are servicing customers directly. I understand that there is something called e-commerce, but that is not my forte. So far, so good, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Using this, now these are my internal strengths because I have undergone that process. I understand it. What can I do for them? So, for example, manufacturers are mainly concerned with quality, people, many a times training, their products, marketing and sales, finance, and various other things, succession planning, etc. Professionals cannot advertise, they cannot do marketing directly because of the hypocrisy oath that we take. Chartered accountants cannot solicit business directly. Now, what do I do? How do I get business? So, can I help them with marketing and selling in a subtle way? I'm not doing anything unethical, mind you, here. Educational marketing is one of the biggest tools that is available in the world, but they are not aware of that. So, can they use that to their effect? So, I can help them with that. Trainers, coaches, consultants face one of the biggest challenges in that their delivery is weak. They don't know how to connect with their audience and they don't know how to sell, close and sell. So if I can teach them this, will they be interested in working with me? So I can teach them with how can they develop their products and services, how can they market, and how can they better their trainings, how can they get more people related, assignments, how can they improve the quality of their work, how can they manage their finances, etc. Now is it making sense that one of the ma'am had said that if you give more examples it'll make sense? Is it now making sense, ma'am? Yes,
Yes,
no?
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now the next test is, are they willing and do they have the ability to pay you? So if I were to put this in a tabular form and I'll tell you how I found my niche is, and remember this, people are paying only for must have solutions to their problems, which means short term problems. If you read an ad which says how to lose 7 kilos in a week without going on diet, even if you have never ever exercised in your life, only 25,000 rupees. money back guarantee if you don't lose weight. Will you buy that product? 9 out of 10 will enroll for that. Am I right? Because you have nothing to lose. It is money back guarantee, how to lose 7 kilos in a week without dieting. And even if I've never done exercise in my life, my God, it's a must have. Yeah. In 15 days, my best friend is getting married. I have to attend that. I have to look my best self. I'll go and enroll for that program. They are spending money only on must have, and must have is derived from fear. Long term is aspiration. I want to look great even when I'm 60. Who knows whether I'll live till 60? But right now, what is it that I want? And if somebody can give me that, I'm willing to invest money in that. Okay, so how did I arrive? How did I arrive at my niche? So look at this. I am passionate about business coaching. Who can I help with that? Trainers, coaches, consultants. What can I help them with? Their products and help them to sell it. Unfortunately, I love working with them. I can solve a problem, but trainers and coaches and consultants are not willing to pay money. And I'll tell you why, what is the reason. Most of them earn in the region of, let's say, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs for the year. After cutting all expenses, if they are going to earn, let's say, 5 to 8 lakhs as net profit, they will not invest 2, 3 lakhs to learn more. Am I right or wrong? If somebody who earns 5 to 8 lakhs is not going to invest 40, 50% of what they earn to learn. Is it making sense, people? Is it making sense? Business coaching ke saath, I can work with professionals. I can help them build a brand to increase their sales, but they don't have the willingness to pay again because they are skeptical. They have the ability, but they don't have the willingness to pay. Now, business coaching, I can do for business owners who are medium and small. And what was my first slide? Remember, there is huge opportunity. I said, huge opportunity. And by being a business coach, I'm also an entrepreneur. Now, somebody who earns 5 crores, 10 crores, 20 crores, 30 crores, 100 crores in a year, for them, paying 5 to 8 lakhs is not a big deal. Not a big deal. And I promise them saying that whatever you pay me, I will ensure that you get 10x the value of that in your business as returns in the first year. And thereafter, you can consistently keep getting that. Is that a good promise that I'm making? Yes, no? Everybody has gone silent. Is it making sense? I love working with them. I can solve their problem and they don't have a problem paying me money. They're willing and they have the ability to pay me money. And I can help them with marketing and sales, finance, business strategies to double their revenue or provide them 10x the value of the fees that they pay me as growth in their business. So this is my niche today, one of my niche. And Premlata, who's been following me on LinkedIn, will vouch for this, that about a year, maybe a year ago, ma'am, did you notice that my posts were mainly relating to emotional intelligence and
Yes,
things?
sir.
But
I was
now
about to
what
ask.
is it relating to? Recently, if you noticed, for the past 3, 4, 5 months, has it changed? Yes, it's more relating to business, right?
Yes, sir.
If you see my newsletters, they're more, what is it? It's a business newsletter. It is not an emotional intelligence newsletter. Why? Because that's a social media strategy. I have learned all that individually, invested money in it, and now I'm applying what I learn. If I don't apply what I learn, I'm not going to reach anywhere. Same with corporates. Corporates need to reduce attrition. Corporates need to increase productivity. Corporates need to train the bench strength. Corporate need a lot of team building, leadership, etc. Because I am a certified trainer, because I've got corporate exposure, etc., etc. I love working with corporates. I can solve their problems. And do they have the money and the ability to pay me? Yes, they have. So this is also one of my niche, but both are totally different. So I've narrowed down myself to concentrate only on these two things. And that's the reason why you don't find me post too much on emotional intelligence. I've stopped doing that emotional intelligence training. Not that I can't do it. I may do it in future, but right now, in order to build my brand in the market, and as an entrepreneur, you need to build your brand. Today, I'm building my brand as a business coach and a team building expert. Now, is it making more sense? The examples that I'm giving? Yes, no?
Yes.
So you need to think through this. This is a skill. And I've given you the tool today. You go just to attend this, somebody will charge you at least 20, 25, 30,000 rupees to teach you this. Not joking, seriously. And I'm giving you that tool today. इससे ज़्यादा simplify करके मैं नहीं दे सकता. Today you know the process of how to find your niche. It's as simple as this. List down, once again, let me show you the process. List down your strengths. See who do you resonate with? What problem of theirs can you solve? Are they willing and do they have the ability to pay you? And if the answer to all that is yes, 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 then that's your niche. As simple as that. Let's go to the last topic for the day. And I think we are managing our time good enough. Some basic knowledge you need to have as an entrepreneur. Basic knowledge is you should know your industry and market. I am in the training, education, coaching industry. My market is small and medium entrepreneurs. Know your industry and your market. It's very, very important. There are some X number of industry sectors in this country. Which is the sector that you want to get into as an entrepreneur? That's the basic knowledge you need to have. If you don't have that, will you be able to do this? Will you be able to finalize your niche?
No.
You won't. And therefore, this is important. This was not to be covered, but this is a bonus from my side. Little bonus. Nothing great I'm giving you, but this will help you. Second, develop that business acumen. Did I teach you a little bit today? Business
Yes.
acumen?
Yes.
Those six levers.
Levers.
Those six levers. If you have that acumen, nobody can take you for a ride. Believe me. Because if you have at the back of your fingertips, how many number of leads am I generating? What is getting converted into a client? How many times does my customer buy from me? What's the average value of the sale that I do? And what margins I'm making? That's it. You're sorted. It's sorted. Nobody can fool you because you know your numbers at the back of your hand. That's important. Develop some business acumen. Develop knowledge about the legal aspects. What should you do to work as an entrepreneur in this country? If you want to do business in India, what is the legal framework? You can start off as a one-man company. You can form a limited liability partnership. You can make a private limited company, or you can make a public limited company, or you can form a trust. Whatever, you decide that. But look at the legal aspects of each of these, and you should have some knowledge of it so that if you engage with a legal consultant, that person should not be able to take you for a ride. It's as simple as that. It's plain English, you can interpret it. And if you get stuck, go and ask for support. Ask people who have read it, know it, ask them to explain it to you. And if they don't, then they are not your real friends. Isn't it? Then, technical aspects. Whatever business you want to be in, develop some technical knowledge about that business. That is very, very important. The technical aspects of it. So, for example, now, if I want to be in business coaching space, then whatever I'm talking to you today are certain technical aspects. The knowing of the niche, the six levers of business, all that is technical aspects. Then if you want to sell a product, then you need to know the technical aspects of that product. what goes into it, what components go into it, what's the features, advantages, what are the benefits. All these you need to know about that product. Those are the technical aspects of the business or the products and services. Then build a network. Your network determines your net worth. Again, not boasting. I started doing the newsletter series sometime in May and June last year. Today, as we speak, you can go and check out my newsletter in LinkedIn. Every fortnight it will come. I have got 3,510 subscribers. Not bad, right? For a single man. Isn't it? It's my network now. I can go and see who's there in that network. I can go and see if small and medium entrepreneurs are there. I can go and see if trainers are there in that. I can go and see if coaches are there. And then build relationship with them. And when you build relationship and nurture them and give them value, and again, I'm not boasting. You can ask ma'am, do you find any of my posts valuable that I do every day?
Every post is more valuable, especially for growing people who wants to learn, quest for learning, and who are a bit inquisitive.
Yeah. And how many times have you seen me sell in LinkedIn? Sell, literally sell, as in putting the value and things like that. And have I ever sold in LinkedIn? No. I do make a statement that, hey, if you want to get in touch with me for a free 30 in 60 call, where I will show you how you can add 30 lakhs to your business in 60 minutes.
That I've seen.
That is a call statement, call to action. But I'm not saying come and buy my coaching for this. No, I'm not. I'm giving value. When you give value to your customer or prospects, the law of reciprocity says that they feel obliged to give you some value back. Ma'am spoke to me last year. For whatever reasons, the timing could not match, or but today it is matched. Isn't it? Ma'am has got value from me, so she thought I can give you some value and she can give me some value. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, sir. 100% it is correct.
This is the principle of the world, basic principle of doing entrepreneurship. This you won't. That's why I was telling Sharad sir that what I'm going to give you today, you will not find in many books, etc. But this is important. This, I'm hoping that you're taking away something that you can implement in your life. Then you need to learn about sales and marketing. No point in saying that, hey, I'm not a sales guy, I'm not a marketing guy. Learn about it. I am not a sales and marketing guy, but I have learned about it. It's no rocket science. You should know where your target audience is. Remember this principle of Lu Tu. People will not buy from you unless they know you, like you, and trust you. Now, to know, you should be visible in the social media and the market. If you give value consistently, they will start liking you. And then that like gets converted into a trust. We have not even met each other, me and ma'am. I have no idea. She just picked up the phone and said, sir, we want this. I have no idea why she trusted me that I can do this 2-hour workshop for you. You need to ask her. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
I have no idea. But that's the trust has got developed. How? By knowing, liking. She got value from me consistently. And so she trusts that if I call this person and tell him something, he will probably do it. That's the integrity. You need to develop this as an entrepreneur. And last but not the least, develop some digital skills. All this, what you're seeing on screen, is not done by some digital marketing guru. I'm not saying it's the best PPT in the world, but it looks neat, presentable. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That's enough to get the attention of the audience. Plus, using some digital skills, I bought a laptop and a stylus, and these are all investments. When you write on the screen, when you're presenting, it's that much more engaging for the audience. Isn't it? Is it making sense, everybody? Aspiring entrepreneurs? Did it make sense overall? Yes? So these are the 7 basic knowledge elements that you need to know as an entrepreneur. Let's do a very, very quick recap. So we covered a bit of attitude and behavior, the 9 principles. I spoke about the market dominating position and finding your niche, etc. And then we looked at the profit growth calculator, the 6 levers of your business. And finally, we looked at some basic knowledge that is required to be an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur. So I do hope that it made sense overall. A parting thought, and then I'll take some questions and then leave you with a final story. This is what Warren G. Tracy's student says. He's an entrepreneur, he develops entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't. So you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. What a beautiful quote, isn't it? You have to live certain number of years of your life like most people won't, because you have to put in that effort. You have to take actions, massive actions, change your mindset, learn certain tools which I spoke about in this, and keep applying them day in and day out, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. Time for questions. And if you don't have any questions, I'll say thank you. And I'm now stopping this and going to the normal. Yeah, I'm
Small
done with.
announcement. Dear participants, please participate in Q&A session. Whatever queries you have, you can get clarified with the sir. Right. In fact, when sir has questioned me like in what way ma'am has trusted me and all, whatever posts I used to see on sir's LinkedIn and all, really they makes us to think twice. Why can't we do or we work on a particular skill, get learned to some new skill? So these are some of the challenging things which makes us to be very energetic in our day-to-day life. That is
See,
what every
you
day I
are
look to the post of sir.
absolutely, what you're saying is right, ma'am. And you're all, some of you are faculty members here, and some
Yes.
of you are students, etc. Any faculty is here? Any faculty is here? Sharad sir, yes.
Yes.
Any other
Yes.
faculty?
Yes, sir.
Yes. May I know your good name, ma'am?
Dr. Kodayoli.
Dr. Kodayuli.
Kodayoli. Yes.
Kodayuli. Okay, Dr. Kodayuli. What
Sorry,
is?
sir?
I'm going to ask you something, some basic questions. Is that okay with your permission?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. What is teaching students known as young children? The term for that?
What is? Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear you.
What is teaching children known as? There is a terminology for it. Pedagogy.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Have you
Okay.
heard of that word, pedagogy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. What is teaching adults known as?
Sorry, sir. I don't know. The
Andragogy.
term I heard. Okay, sir. Okay.
Andragogy. And what is the latest buzzword in the education world?
What is the latest?
Buzzword. What's the latest, absolutely latest development that is taking place in the educational world, and which is also, in a way, entrepreneurship, although we say that education should not be sold, etc. But yeah,
Innovative
It is-
To be
teaching.
frank,
it is known as heutagogy. Heutagogy. I would request each one of you to go and Google the word heutagogy. Not right now, you can Google later on. But as faculty, you must know this. And heutagogy is nothing but self-paced or self-centered learning. And is that what is happening after the pandemic? People want to learn, no doubt, but at their own pace, in their own style, in their own way, using their own methodology, at their own convenience, on the go, etc., etc., etc. Why am I saying this? Because as entrepreneurs, we need to learn these digital skills. Ma'am, do you have LMS in your university, learning management system?
No, sir.
No.
But I have undergone the course with NIT Warangal.
Yeah,
Moodle course. Yeah.
you should have.
LMS.
It gives an access to the students or participants to learn beyond the classroom. It's such a powerful medium, I'm telling you. And that adds value to your students. Imagine. That's going and walking that extra mile to give value to your target audience, who are students. One of the target audience is students. Yeah. So sorry, we just got into a conversation. I'm open for questions. Any questions if you have, feel free to ask. If you need any clarifications, any questions, I do hope that you got value. Otherwise, I'll just leave you with a small story towards the end. Any questions? Anybody wants to say anything, feel free.
Dear participants, please fill your feedback. It is very needed for us. Sir, I'll share the responses to you, sir.
Please, no worries.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you all could at least unmute for a picture, we can take a nice
Sure.
picture and put it in the social media.
I request all the participants, please, to switch on your videos, please.
There. Now we see the faces. Not bad. I do hope it made sense to you overall. Please feel free to say whatever you want. Did you get any aha moments today? Did you learn anything new today? Ma'am, you are muted. Ma'am, you need to unmute.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, sir. I just firstly I need to thank you for your nice presentation.
Thank you.
I'm totally blank with the entrepreneurship and related ideas related to it. So I have gained a little bit of knowledge so that I can improve myself towards positive. Thank you so much, sir.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yes, anybody else wants to say anything? Feel free. Ask your questions, ask your doubts. This is your chance to ask. నేను కొంచెం తెలుగులో మాట్లాడతాను. మర్చిపోయాను. 45 సంవత్సరాలు అయింది మాట్లాడి. మర్చిపోయాను తెలుగు. So you can ask your questions if you want. Feel free. Whenever somebody tells me there's a learning session, I am so enthused. I'm running 57 now. But you tell me there's a learning session, I can keep taking this session the whole night. And you will not see a drop of my energy in any of those words or anything that I do. You have to be passionate. One of the biggest thing to be an entrepreneur is passion. Do it with passion. Okay, anything else? Otherwise we can... Ma'am, are you clicking pictures or do you want me to click?
Yeah, we have taken a screenshot, sir.
We have taken
it. Yeah.
Okay, then let's take a nice screenshot. Otherwise, I'm just looking here and there and
Yeah.
One second, some notification.
Yes.
Just hold on. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you. And do share the feedback, ma'am, whatever it is, any areas of improvement that you want me to do. Most welcome. I'm not at all averse to getting negative feedback because that helps me to improve in life always. So no worries at all. You can tell me anything freely, no worries at all. And that's what I'm learning as an entrepreneur. And yeah, this is the last lesson for all of you. Learn to hear the no in your life if you want to be an entrepreneur. If you can't hear a no in your life, you can't be an entrepreneur. Na sunna seekho. Because 9 out of 10 people will tell you no, only one will buy. And if you can't take that no, you won't become an entrepreneur. Chalo, last story for the day, and I'll leave you all. So there was a gardener, and this is all for the faculty and everybody who's here, and even for the entrepreneurs or so-called aspiring entrepreneurs. There was a gardener, and the gardener's role is to water the plants of his master. So there were a lot of plants, a lot of shrubs, a lot of trees in the garden of the master. His master used to live on a hill. So the gardener has to walk down the hill every time there was a stream of water flowing, and he has to pick water from that stream. He has to go up, water all the plants, and take care of them. This was his role. And fill the flower vases and other things with the beautiful flowers that bloomed in the plants and shrubs. So, in order to walk up and down, and because he had to come down and take water, he used to use a rod, and two pots used to hang in that rod. And he used to carry it like this every time and come down the stream, take water, go up, water all the plants, and maintain the gardens. This continued for almost 2 years. And one day, when he was coming down, one of the pots on the right side started crying, saying that, please forgive me. I have some cracks in me. I'm not a perfect pot like the pot on the left side. And because of that, lot of water drips. And, you have to go down and up 5, 6 times. I'm extremely sorry. I'm of no service to you. The potter or the mali or the gardener says, today when we go up, please take a look at your side of the hill. And the pot notices that that side of the hill is completely green. There are a lot of shrubs which have grown, lot of flowers have grown in it. And on the other side, the perfect pot is completely barren. There's nothing that has grown on the other side. What's the one lesson that we can take from that? We are all cracked pots, not crackpots. We are all cracked pots. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has got some cracks in them, isn't it? As faculty members, please listen to this carefully, all of you. Every student of yours, every other faculty member, including you, me, everybody has got cracks in them. Our role as a faculty and aspiring entrepreneurs, your role as an entrepreneur is to find that crack and convert it into their biggest strength. Provide solutions to them. Use their weaknesses, convert them into their strengths. They'll thank you for it for the rest of your life. And that's what I want to tell you. I'm going to thank you for the rest of my life for giving me this opportunity to speak here. And have a great evening ahead. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sharad, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
sir.
And thank you, one and all who attended this program.
Thank you, sir.
I
Sir,
do
there is a
hope-
formal vote of thanks, sir. Please wait a minute.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Very good evening to all the participants. First of all, I would like to thank our today's speaker, expert speaker, in fact, because we have got a lot of knowledge. Sir, thank you very much for sharing your very deepest knowledges in harnessing the skills. And
I do hope it made sense overall. Sharad sir, did it make sense?
Yeah,
overall?
really. It was very informative actually for all of us.
Thank you. Okay.
I, Dr. Premalata P, Ad hoc Faculty of School of Humanities and Management, on behalf of the organizing committee of IIC, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our Honorable Director, Professor Pramod Kumar Podale, sir. I am also thankful to Registrar Dr. P. Dinesh Shankar Reddy. And I'm also very thankful to our Dean, Research and Consultancy, Ravikiran Sastri, sir. And I'm also thankful to our President of IIC, Dr. V. Sudarshana Deepa, and Vice President, Dr. P. Shanker, sir. And I'm also thankful to my sincere thanks to Sharad Dwivedi, sir, for his help and support at various stages. And I'm also thankful to our NITAP network team. Sir has been there, the web and networking team were there from the start of the event for streaming our event on YouTube. Thank you, Sudhakar, sir, for taking a lot of pain and bearing us and waiting for us, eagerly listening to the session too. And last but not the least, I would also thank our audience, because it was because of you the session completely ended for 2 hours. I should thank our speaker too, who was diligently from the start till the last. Sir was so engrossed in the session, and in fact made the audience also to engrossed in the session. And if time is money or time is precious, I would say and convey my heartfelt thanks to all the participants, the speaker, and various other stakeholders who are present over here for spending your millions worth of your time with us for making this event a successful one. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gratitude. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
And
sir.
to add,
Thank you all.
yeah,
Have a
yeah,
great
and to
evening.
add one, sir, and to add one more thing, I request now all the participants to give our speaker a great round of applause.
Sure, sir.
Please unmute your mic and give a great round of applause to us, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We are grateful. We are very thankful, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. God
Thank you,
bless.
sir.
Shankar sir, I'll get
It
connected
was
to
an
you. Thank you, sir.
amazing.
Yes, ma'am, please do some share some pictures and maybe if you could share a testimonial, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I don't want to
Sure.
force anything, but whatever you can share, that's fine.
Ah.
Yes. Sorry, sir. Okay.
We
Sir,
will
I'll
share
share
with
the
you, sir.
YouTube live streaming link,
No
sir.
problem. No problem.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sure,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank
Greg.
you. Thank you, all participants. We are winding up the session.
Yes.
Have a great evening ahead.
Thank you.